as you can see, we're back on the E36 today. In the last video, you guys saw that we were missing a gasket, which was the Vanos gasket right here. So that finally came in. It actually came in a few days earlier than expected. So we can continue the process now and get this thing buttoned up for the most part. So I think the game plan for today is just make sure that everything that we did with the timing is good to go. I think I set it up as best as I could and everything is timed properly. I can't even act like I know what I'm doing or explain it. So I'm just gonna go ahead, put the Vanos on, and then we can start throwing everything back together and hopefully get this thing started in this video. It's a little bit of a reach for me, in my opinion, but I'm gonna get at it and see if we can make it happen. Weather is absolutely disgusting today. It is super humid, but we got to continue on this thing and get this thing finished up. I made a decent amount of progress yesterday. I continued working off camera and I got our intake on. I got the throttle body connected, fuel rail connected. All that was pretty easy and simple to do. Unfortunately, I did throw my intake on before the fuel rail, so I had to take this entire thing off, then get the fuel rail on, and then put the intake back on. So I was definitely tired and struggling and making some mistakes. Now, I did have a scare last night. I got the entire fan and radiator connected, and I went inside. I was chilling for the night. A random thought came into my mind that I didn't put the block to top dead center when I did all the timing on the top end. And I don't know why that thought came to mind, but it just scared the hell out of me. So I came back here, took the radiator out, disconnected the fan, and then not redid all the timing, but just checked all the timing just to make sure it was actually accurate. And the good news is it was, and I didn't mess up. So that saved me a lot of work. But yeah, like I said, I don't know why that fear came to my mind. Now, enough talking. Let's continue getting this thing reassembled and get ready to go. You guys are gonna like this, but after a few hours, we got entire intake connected to the throttle body, to the intake manifold. Now, the only thing that's remaining is getting our engine cover on. And what I ended up doing was I learned a little hack. I didn't know this before. So to prevent the gasket from falling out when you're trying to put it on there, you put a little bit of RTV in a few of these, just kind of hold it in place, and it's already a lot more snug than it was. But I made sure to clean up everything with a little bit of rubbing alcohol, just so you know it has a clean mating surface. You want to get stuff like this out the way. This should be the last step to finish this thing up, get it started, and then we do need to do an oil change and then put some coolant in there because obviously we drained it. And we got the final piece of the puzzle. So now we just throw this thing on. And then our cover that goes right here. And I believe that's it, something like that. But I don't have the screws for it, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Oh, this is one for the books, boys. We got the hood closed, and you know what that means. Surprised that still works, to be honest. Everything is now plugged up. So now what we're gonna do is throw some coolant into this thing. Actually, I think what we're gonna do now is prime the engine. We're gonna pull the fuse pump fuse and then let the engine prime and then drain the oil, and then from there put in fresh oil and then actually start it up. So that way we know there's oil everywhere, and any gunk that came about during the cleaning process will also get flushed out. And then we'll do the coolant, make sure there's no leaks. Hopefully there isn't. I think I tightened up everything else. And then we should be good to go ahead and do our first drive, which is something I'm very excited about. So I'm gonna drop the camera here, go clean up, and then come back and start the rest of this. We're gonna go ahead and pull the fuel pump fuse. And the fuel pump fuse is number 18, which sits right here. It's like the third one over on this second row. So that comes out. And we're just gonna toss this off to the side for now. And my battery has been sitting on a tender this entire time. Hopefully it's still good. The light shows that it's good. So I'm hoping I can just prime this thing up and not have any issues, but let's see. So now, go ahead and get inside. Make sure we're not in gear. And hopefully there's no issues. Okay, moment of truth. Oh, wrong key. Now we got some power. Let's go ahead. So we got it to turn over a few times, which I think is enough to get at least the oil in the places that it needs to be in. So we won't worry about that too much. We'll go ahead and start draining the oil now, do the oil change. And I need to figure out what's going on with this battery because this thing is definitely not working. It says it's good, like according to this and my battery tender, it says the battery's good. So I'm not sure what's causing the power issue, but that would be an issue for another day. And with that, should be just as simple as getting this thing off. We'll go ahead and remove this. We can toss this bad boy right under here. Honestly, the oil doesn't look too bad. It's definitely on the darker side, but you can kind of see through it still. It still has some opacity to it, which is nice to see. So we'll go ahead and get this thing fully drained. I'll give it like 5-10 minutes. So we do have all the new oil here. We got this from FCP along with the filter. Then we did pick up this oil drain plug, which is magnetic. So if there's any shavings in the oil going forward, it'll get caught by this. Hopefully that's not the case, but this is just one of those precautionary measures. Oil filter doesn't look too bad, but now the new one can go in. There we go. Doesn't need to be too tight or anything. I'm just going a little more than hand tight. And that should be good. This car calls for about 6.5 liters. But I'm gonna put in a little bit extra because from what I've read online, when you're driving this car hard, it does tend to starve a little bit. So might do like 6.7 or 6.9, something like that. I was told the battery on the car was pretty new, so I was trusting that, but I decided to take it to the local battery shop near my house. And I unfortunately had to spend $300 for a new battery. So that's what that is, but this thing is a lot stronger, more powerful, more capable. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and toss this thing in the car. And as you can see, we also got some new coolant. I can't catch a break, man. Coolant become $20-some a gallon. That is heavy. So I explained to them that the tender was saying that the battery was charged and was ready to go. They kind of looked at it and they said the cell in the battery is probably dead, hence why it's saying it's charged, but when you go to crank it, it actually just loses all of its power. So we upgraded the battery. Now that's in there, let's give this another crank and see and hope, fingers crossed, there's no weird noises, there's no grinding sound, and this thing starts right up. I am terrified. Let it prime. Fuel still needs to kick in. That sounded healthy though. Obviously there's no coolant in this, so I'm getting that warning. Oh, I thought it was leaking. That's leaves. God. I thought I was leaking oil or something. That was the leaves. It's getting blown around by the wind. Okay, that scared the living daylights out of me. Do I need to give it some gas?